How to do a body recomp. Let's go. This is another Gorilla Platoon result that is now in the bag. Changes this guy's physique and ultimately his life and the trajectory in the way he will perform in his day-to-day life as a British paratrooper. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Tom Sergey. I run the Gorilla Platoon, which is an online physique transformation program where we get results like the one you can see on the screen, and we just talk about them online so you can take from them what you like and apply them into your day-to-day life. Now, if you're new to the channel, welcome. We're here to discuss how to do a body recomposition. This is, to be fair, the backbone of this channel. Just speaking about how to drop off body fat, build muscle, and look the best you ever have, so you can become a more confident and fucking killer-like mindset motherfucker and go and protrude through the world and go and take what is rightly yours, because it is your birthright to look exactly how you want. So, first of all, he started off at 83 kilograms, 21% body fat, I believe. First thing you want to do is your setup. The way you're going to do this is take your scale weight and your body fat percentage minus the two off each other. That's going to give you a set scale weight. That is your lean mass. You're going to need to write that number down. From there, just add 10% to that, and that is your target scale weight. You're then going to go from the initial scale weight to the target scale weight, looking to drop about a kilogram per week with good levels of adherence. Now, you're then going to need to set up your nutrition as the backbone for this. How do you do this? Well, you take that initial lean mass and you times it by 2.4. That is going to give you your protein target. The number that equates to is your protein target in grams. You're going to take the overall calorie target and you're going to times that by 20%. That's going to give you your target for fats in grams. And then lastly, you're going to fill the rest up with carbohydrates. Now, you may be thinking, well, what sort of a deficit, surplus, or maintenance should I do for the nutrition? Simply put, you will find out your maintenance. There's many calorie calculators online that will tell you this answer. You're going to sit just 200 calories below it. Why? Because in the beginning stages, most people have put their metabolism in the motherfucking bin. And we want to get it back out the bin. And the only way to do this is not by pulling your calories low, because then you've got nowhere to go for it. If you go into a massive calorie deficit to begin with, trying to get the weight off really fucking fast, you'll just play your cards, you'll shoot your load, and the body will stop responding. And before you know it, you're on 1,500 calories and your dick doesn't work anymore. That's not what we want here. So what we want to do is sit just below maintenance, because then that gets you eating and consuming a good amount of food. Now with that, you're going to have fuel to drive performance in the gym. That's the biggest and the most important factor when it comes to building muscle. Not the amount of protein you eat, it is gym floor performance, resistant style training. Just train each muscle group twice per week to failure and you will be absolutely fine. You will grow the physique that you require. People will try and make it sound complicated. People will try and give you 3 exercises to try and grow your bicep. And while those videos are nice, they're not the sole reason why you're going to get in shape. This is why you see so many fitness influencers online. They have videos of them training and never speak about any results, because that's not the backbone of how they got in shape. That's just some nice exercises and the final cherry on top. And everyone thinks, oh, well, I'll look like him if I do this. No, it's not the same. You doing that exercise and him that's very responsive to training stimulus, even if he's not on gear, let's say, for example, but he's very, very responsive to the way his body utilizes nutrients and training stimulus, he's going to yield a better result than your average gym goer is just by doing the exercise. It's not the exercise per se that got you in shape, because let's be honest, if you need to train your biceps, you flex the elbow, done. You need to train your triceps, you extend the elbow, done. You need to train your chest, drive the bicep towards the pec, done. You need to train your back, pull your elbow down towards your hip, done. It's like you understand you're either horizontally pushing, pulling, vertically pulling and pushing, knee flexion, elbow flexion. You're going to hit all. You know how to train, motherfucker. You know what exercises you should be doing. I made a video yesterday on how the importance of intensity over just getting too much into the weeds of execution. Sure, it's important. Slow down the tempo, go deep, but go fucking hard. And that's how you're going to grow true muscle. And that's why you want to start with a bit of a higher calorie, well, not higher, but a little bit of more of a shallow calorie deficit. Now, from there, if we're going to be doing that, we can't obviously just do nothing outside of that. So you're going to need to be doing output. This means formal cardio. In the midst of, I like to sit guys, heart rate 120 to 130, they'll do something that's non-impact. Why? Because I don't want to accumulate fatigue that's going to impact the session, aka gym floor performance, and I don't want to do something that's going to massively spike their appetite, because it's going to make adherence to the plan harder. It's hard enough as it is without you making it fucking harder by going out sprinting every day. So what that would look and feel like is incline treadmill, walk, or a bike. Keep it at that for the first few weeks. You can always go to a more aggressive means of CV later. like the cross trainer or a stairmaster. Use that in your toolbox. With it, you look at like trying to get in shape, and you've got a box of tools to get there. Don't try and use them all at once. Be very tactful in when you deploy a certain tool, and when you use a more aggressive tool, make sure you've maxed out the first tool to do so. Also, you should be walking 10,000 steps per day, and if your schedule allows it, which I appreciate not everyone's does, try to then push it to 12 and a half and to 15. After 15, I do appreciate it's a fair bit of time just to be out walking. Like, I appreciate you've got like work and shit and families to look after. You can't just always be out walking around. When it comes to training, nice and simple. Don't overcomplicate this. If you're new to training, full body split done 3 times per week is absolutely fine. You'll hit all muscle groups twice. Your volume won't be massive, but it doesn't need to be because you're new to training. That amount of stimulus, look at training stimulus as more like a dosage of medicine. You don't need something that cures cancer for your headache. So it's the same when you just start out training. You just need enough stimulus and dosage, and that will do the trick. Been training over a year, 18 months, then look to push to a 4-day. I will say, though, that the difference going from a 3 to a 4 is quite drastic. I'd say do 4 if you can handle it. Nice and simple how you're going to train. You're just going to do everything on the front of the body on one day, everything on the back of the body on another day. You're going to repeat that times 2. Nice and simple. I've done many exercise videos on how to program like that, so I won't go into that now in the detail of this. So that's how you're going to train. That's the output you're going to do. That's the way you're going to structure your nutrition. Just going a level deeper in the nutrition. First of all, set your protein target, and depends on the size of you and how amount of feeding you've got. I would honestly say 1 fatty option per day is probably going to be your limit in terms of what you can get away with without using too many calories. And you're going to want that first thing in the morning, unless you are training first thing in the morning. Obviously, then you're not going to. The reason being, it's obviously slower, longer to digest. It will then last longer. Let's say you're training at lunchtime or the evening. On the flip side, if you're going to train first thing in the morning, have that fattier protein option right in the evening. What does that look and feel like? You're talking eggs, you're talking red meat, you're talking salmon. Pretty much they're your options. Outside of that, you're going to stick to chicken, turkey, or white fish because it's so lean, so high in protein, you just cannot go wrong with it. When it comes to fats, what you're going to be consuming, well, you're going to have 1 fattier option of meat or eggs, let's say, which are going to give you a good amount of normal fats, good fats that come from the actual sources of themselves, the single ingredients. And that's a side note. Try to keep foods as single ingredient as you possibly can. I fucking love peanut butter, but unless you're buying the one that's literally got 1 or 2 ingredients, in which case it don't taste that great, then you're going to be putting a load of excess other things in your body which you don't really know where they all came from. I've tried to move away from peanut butters, from protein powders, just because it's filled with a load of other random stuff. Side note, the diet I'm pretty much running with is oats. In fact, there is 1 ingredient in the diet which I know for sure is multiple ingredients inside it, and that's jam. Fucking shoot me. So I have oats, jam, and berries frozen as a first meal. Second meal would be steak, rice, and also eggs. Before the gym, I'll repeat the initial oatmeal that we just spoke about, but I'll add some dates to it. After that, I'll have a chicken and rice meal. After that, I will have yogurt. And I have started now, as calories have gone up, implementing some dark chocolate. I like 90% dark chocolate. The darker, the better. Just like how I like my women. So that gives me a little sweet tooth towards the end. So that's the style of diet. To be fair, if you follow that diet, just manipulate it to your calories, you pretty much hit everything you want. And then when it comes to vegetables, when you're dieting, you're going to need veg because of the fiber that's going to pack out the meal plan. Same with the oats and the berries. Honestly, when it comes to vegetables, everyone's different. Some foods you'll be able to stomach, which others, it just makes them fart all fucking day. What I say with veggies, it's your opportunity to add volume and water to a diet. So you want to be looking at things like cucumber, tomato, spinach. The sheer size of volume, you're going to get to that. You stick 100 grams of a mixture of those, you're going to be able to pack those meals out. You're not going to be feeling too hungry. And that's a secret trick of this all. It's managing hunger and really keeping your calories high, fiber high. That way it feels like you're eating a whole lot amount of food, when in reality, probably eating less calories than you were doing before you started dieting, but it looks like a hell of a lot more. So you've got longevity in this, and it's not going to be quote unquote unsustainable, although it should be unsustainable because you're here to pull off body fat. You're not here to fucking live like this forever, remember. So just on how you're going to know if you're making progress. So what we did for this guy was every week we would formally check in. We'd look at his photos. We'd look at his data. What does that look and feel like? You will weigh yourself every day. Yes, every day. Why? Because the more data points you have, the better the data is to look at to then drive decisions from. If you weigh in once or twice a week, you could have had a bad night's sleep, your scale weight's going to be up. You could have eaten later on in the evening, not taking a shit in the morning, and your scale weight's going to be up. So weigh in every day to give us more reflection of data. Obviously, record the step count that you've done, record the minutes of cardio that you've done per week. Remember, you're going to start on 140 per week, distributed across 7 days. You're going to log and record the nutrition you've eaten. That's very, very important. And don't overeat. Don't go outside of the plan, for goodness sake. We'll come on to mindset in a minute. And you're going to log and record your sleep and also your training. That data is going to tell you, did you drop a kilogram? No. Fine. Then we need to make a change. You can either increase the output, but on week one, I do tend to pull down the calories by 200 because generally speaking, you've overshot like where your maintenance was. So we can bring that down there. However, if you did see the drop off on the scale, don't do anything. Rinse and repeat that out until you stop seeing a drop off. Then you make a change. Remember, we spoke about playing our cards too early. So if you're seeing drop offs, don't preempt it. Don't make another change. When you do need to make a change, your options are you either decrease from food, but I would tell you to save that for a little bit. Let's go to 30 minutes of daily cardio, then to 40 minutes of daily cardio. Then let's push the intensity of that cardio up from 120 to 130 to go into 130 to 140. So we're always like pushing the output first because you want to be an athlete, remember. You want to look and feel like an athlete. Well, to do that, you're going to need CV to be in a good space. Then from there, we need to do the trade-off. Would it be better for us to drop 200 calories, maybe from fats first, than it would to then push an extra 10 minutes of CV because we're starting to eat into routine. You've got family, you've got other commitments that you need to do. There will be times where that's a non-negotiable and you will push that up to 50 to 60 minutes towards the back end of the transformation. But we want to see that trade-off in between and what makes more sense. Finally, I'll speak about the mindset thing with this. Now, you can get a coach, you can watch my videos, but at the end of the day, no one's going to come and do this for you, nor does anyone really give a shit if you get the result. I do. There's nothing better than, obviously, me personally coaching the Gorilla Platoon members to get results. It's literally it's literally what I put my own self-worth on is the amount of results we got and my last result achieved. But apart from that, like no one else really cares if you achieve it. Why do I say this from a mindset standpoint? Simply because you need to be independent about this. You must understand that it's your fault that you are out of condition, but it can be your fault as to why you get into condition. And why it needs to be like that is when you do get into condition, because you will, if you lock in, follow what I've said with the mindset, you will get in shape, but you need to know that it was you that got you there. Because when you are faced with some more adversity in a different realm of your life, you need to lean back on the transformation you've done and know, I can be a man of discipline. Here's exhibit A, proof before and after that I tangibly did that. Now I can do this in this new challenge of my life. That's important. You need to sleep at night knowing you are someone that when shit gets tough can get the job done. I can't stress enough how important that is for this. One thing I'll say is, this is your opportunity to develop the muscle that is discipline. Now, the way I see discipline working is you have got a goblin version of you inside your brain. He wants you to absolutely implode, wank you back out to porn every night, eat a load of garbage foods, be dross, barely do any work, stay in homeostasis for the longest period of time. Now, he is constantly chasing after you, and you are constantly trying to move away from him towards the best character version of you. Now, every day you pass on discipline, you don't go do your steps, you cheat on your diet, he's moving one step closer to you and you can't move forward. So he's closing the gap to where you are. However, every day you do something of discipline, you move a step further away from him. What this is really about is you becoming either one version of yourself or another version of yourself. I use the goblin analogy as like the poor version of you, and you've got the best character version of you. But that's what this is really about. You're moving away from that old version of you that is not a benefit to society to someone that you're truly proud of. And that's why you don't pass on discipline on the day-to-day. Because every day you do, you die that little bit inside, and that goblin comes up and fucking eats you up. So I can't stress that enough. The last thing I'll say is, you want to be accountable to someone when you do this. So find somebody that you fairly respect, but it would also annoy you if you didn't get the result. The reason being, they will make you push that little bit harder in the gym. They'll say you haven't got this in you, and it'll make you go that little bit harder. That is free stored energy and money to get you over the line to the result. I train with my close friend at the minute, and it is fucking war when we train because we're all always trying to outdo each other. The last few sessions, PBs all around on all movements, absolutely flying up with the numbers just from that. Like, we both obviously want to win, but that is just free energy in there to make sure we beat our old selves and are continuously getting better. Find your version of that. That's what I would suggest you to do. And then after the transformation was finished, we went down to 70 kilos, and now this is how he is looking. Six pack coming out, delts, pecs, shaping up, and the bicep as well. Complete change in how he sees himself, and now this guy is smashing out solid like runs with a pack on in very, very quick time, ready for his next venture. So there's a lot of potential for all of you out there to do this. So if you want me to do this for you, there'll be a link in the description. You can book a call. If you find it useful, great, then subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.